Hey guys, it's Sherwood coming here again. My amp looks kind of funny. It's upside down. So a little story about what happened to me. I was at a gig a couple of Fridays ago, and my Marshall JVM, it quit working. Did a sound check. We took a 10-minute break, and when I came up here, hit the standby right there, I had no sound. Yeah, it was a pretty bad night. So Marshall head is this head shell here is actually facing down. You can see, using my headlamp, you can see the handle is right there. So I'll tell you what happened, just in case you guys end up running into this. On the back of the amp right here, there's a number right there. Mine says M2000827. So the amp was actually made the 27th week of 2008, and it had the original tubes in it. So shame on me for having those. What ended up happening over here, you've got a series of fuses, and this one right down here. So when you're looking at the amp with the knobs on the front here, there's a fuse right there called FS6. It is the high tension voltage fuse for the output tubes. And when I came home and I took my amp apart, I discovered that the fuse had blown. So I got on the JVM forum and I started looking up what the heck made that blow up. And Santiago, he goes by Santial or something on the forums. He actually designed this amp. He came on and he said if you have a problem with the FS6 fuse, it's usually a problem with the output tubes. Given mine are roughly, well, they're definitely 7 years old, going on 8 years old. It's not surprising that they have given up the ghost, as they say. So I put new tubes in. When you put new tubes in, you come all the way over here to where you see overdrive 2, right there. Right behind that on the circuit board are these two pots, okay? Well, the pot on the right biases the tubes on the right, a V4 and V5, as they're labeled on the board, and the one on the left biases V1 and V2. So whenever you retube your amp, well, if it's not a self-biasing amp like my 6505 Plus combo, you need to rebias the tubes, otherwise you could run into future troubles. So right there, right here where I'm pointing, you'll see the white thing with 3 prongs sticking up. The prong in the middle is actually the ground. So what you do is you get yourself one of these multimeters right here. Okay, I've got little alligator clips on the end. Okay, I got my little alligator clips. Oh gee, sorry about the freaking quality of that. So you stick your black lead on the center of the trio there, and then you put your red lead with an alligator clip on the one on the left, and you set that pot, that pot right there, you set that one to 70 millivolts, and that translates to 35 milliamps per tube. And then you move your lead from the leftmost post to the rightmost post, and you set the other pot to 70. And what I've done is I've played for a few days, and I found that the bias points have actually drifted a little bit. So I've got them reset now. They're actually, I set them to 70 last night, and they're both settled at exactly 68.5 to 69 right now. And since the potentiometers there are so sensitive, I'm not really going to mess with it for, you know, half a milliamp. You're not really going to notice the difference. So while we're in here, this is the negative feedback mod right there, the Appetite for Destruction mod, and the Randy Rhoads mod that I showed you in the other video. So a little sneak peek. You can see these little guys hooked up in there. It's just a bunch of wires, capacitors, and stuff hooked up, and then they come over here and down there, you'll see they actually replaced some of the components. Like R73 there has been replaced by these two wires, and R97 has been replaced. Well, it's got a pot put in parallel with it, and R58's modified. And to be completely honest, I don't recall exactly. That's a mod too. The red and black big capacitors on that switch right there. So I'd have to go on a JVM forum again to figure out which mods those are, you know, in the specific places, because I don't have it memorized or anything like that. But yeah, I've got it retubed, playing a show again tomorrow night, so let's hope for the best. All the rest of the fuses are there. You got FS1, FS2, FS5. So you can go on the JVM forum, and if you have any troubles, it's a really good resource to use for figuring things out and stuff. Now, these big black caps over here, they can hold about 500 volts. So you don't want to be prodding your fingers around in there. When I'm adjusting the bias, I actually use a plastic screwdriver, and it has a very, very fine tip on it, as you'll see there. On this side, there's actually an indented tip. Probably can't see it. You'll just have to believe it's there. So I'm going to jam for a little bit, and I'm going to take it out to the show again tomorrow night after I put it back together tomorrow, and let's hope it keeps working. I retubed all electro-harmonics tubes on the output section, and then I put the stock tubes back in the preamp. Now, when I say stock, I put brand new stock tubes. So I put a JJ in V1, and I put two Showa gangs Ruby tubes in V2 and V3. V4 is a JJ, and the phase inverter is it's an electro harmonics. And I gotta admit, the amp sounds a lot better now. But if you've got a JVM and you're wondering what the heck is inside of it, there it is. Marshall. Alright, I'll do a video demo of how it sounds at another time. Thanks, guys.